All right, guys, so as you can see, this is an LG made, Kenmore made, or Kenmore badge, I should say, washer. And we're changing the bellow, or the seal. So, pretty straightforward. You just have to follow along. I'm not going to be talking all the way through the video, because it's pretty straightforward. You have your LED light. You do have to get that out. And you do have a zip tie on it. Make sure you put the zip tie back on it and cut it. Be careful you don't cut the wire as you cut the zip tie off. And also you will have quite a few clamps to remove before you can get the bellow out. Now, if you're changing your bellow, I wanted to say this, and yours is not damaged, then if it's not damaged, all you have to do, it's called pool shock. It's what you use for pools. And you could take it off, soak it into, pour it into a big container, plastic container, and let it soak for, good few hours, good 4 hours, and it will clean all the mold and mildew. Everything will be perfect on it. So, and by the way, all the screws on LG, they're all Phillips, or I think Phillips and 9mm, I think, for the top. But if you have Phillips screwdriver, you're good to go. Now, that machine was missing a screw at the bottom. Not sure why, but someone must have worked on it. That screw right there, it says short screw, so you will have one in your machine, hopefully. And missing a screw. So yeah, pretty straightforward. I would say just follow along and you can definitely get it done. Take your time. I will link a tool that you will need. Disconnect your harness for the springs. The outer spring is not too bad. You could actually just use your use your hand on it. If you're a tech, I'm sure you probably can. Or, maybe a homeowner, who knows. So just take your time. The inner clamp, the one that is securing it to the actual body of the washer, it is stiffer and it requires a little more strength to get it on. I use my pick. It's a pick hook, and I was able to just pull it up and it snapped over. Sorry I couldn't show the angle. It wasn't that good of an angle, but you can do that, or you can order the tool. LG makes a special tool just for that. I do have it. It was not in my truck, so I was using my truck. I didn't have my service van, so I was limited on certain things. But anyways, you can still get it done. I will leave a link to the tools that I use to get it done. So if I did it, you can do it as well. And I'll also leave a link to the proper tools that you should use. Makes it a lot easier than using a hook pick, but nonetheless, it can still be done instead of investing into a tool that you're only going to be used one time. So keep that in mind. Now, that bottom elbow one, make sure you clean that well. That's the hardest working part on your washer. That's the one that drains the bellow. So all the water and junk goes to that. So as a maintenance, you should always get a steamer if you can, or a soft bristle brush or something, and just push down that hole and keep it nice and clean. Now, you don't want to use anything sharp. Don't use any screwdriver or anything that can damage the bellow. That will not be good. So, all right, so pretty much just follow along, and it's pretty straightforward. You can't mess it up. When you have your bellow off, you can clean around your washer. Get a small brush. If yours is filthy, go ahead and clean it. Spray some stuff and let it soak. Don't use anything too sudsy now, because you're going to have a lot of suds. So keep that to a minimum. and maybe you can get a rag or something around the perimeter just to clean your bellow or your inner drum to get it nice and clean. If you want to spray any deodorizer, get that sprayed now so that you can have a fresh smelling machine. Citric acid, I will also leave a link, and it works great. It cleans your washer well. If you do use this citric acid, make sure that once you get it cleaned and the washer is done, go ahead and clean the pump screen where the pump is, lower left corner. Just pop it out and clean that out, because what's going to happen, you're going to have a lot of buildup from the machine after the clean cycle. So just do that and you should be fine. So pretty much follow along. The tool, in case you're wondering, in the beginning of the video and at the end of the video, I use that. It's called a Grabo, and it's just a suction cup. It makes sometimes fixing these machines and moving them a lot easier. So you press it, it's a vacuum activated, and literally you can put a handle on something that wouldn't normally have a handle. So it makes getting the job done a lot easier. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching and subscribing. Appreciate it. Just want to say something real quick. Just pay attention to your clamps position so you can get them back in the same orientation as it was on the washer before you even mess with it. Just keep in mind that if it was the old position, you would want to put it back in the same location. But the angles, keep in mind the angles so that if you ever need to move those clamps, they're not going to be opposite. And also, I'm rotating. It makes, just so you know where each one goes, it makes it a lot easier. So use your old bellow and set it right next to your new bellow so you can actually just get everybody done. And that yellow one, pay attention to the angle in which it sprays. So once you remove it, put it back in the same position. All right. Ma'am. You want to rinse this out for me?
Huh?
Oh, here I
No,
have.
no. How you doing?
Yeah, rinse this out.
What's that?
It's a part. Just rinse it out for me. Clean it.
Oh, you want me to clean it?
Yes, ma'am. Run some water through it. Thank you. You're like,